Hi, I'm Audra Nakane, and I'm one of the co-founders of Nakane CAPS. We've received quite a few questions about how Nakane CAPS differs from the traditional four-temperament model. So, in this video, we're here to clear up any confusion and dive into just what sets our approach apart.
Some communities turn to the four temperaments for understanding general personality types. This is especially true for many devout Catholics who want to avoid the modernist take on self-knowledge. The Church has a long tradition of embracing valuable human insights wherever they appear. The four temperaments reach back to ancient Greek thought, and throughout history, Catholic thinkers and saints have used the best knowledge available to understand human nature. Historically, the four temperaments, sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic, were tied to the ancient medical theory of bodily humours. Although that theory was eventually disproven, the temperaments endured as a popular, rudimentary interpretation of people's tendencies. It was understood that humans genuinely differ in their natural dispositions, and they sought a tool, albeit a simplistic one, to help them navigate those differences. So how does Nakane CAPS differ from the four temperaments? What we're really describing is an expansion of knowledge. Traditional systems, including the four temperaments, take broad modes of human processing, such as feeling, thinking, auditory, and visual, and then try to map entire personalities onto those categories. This approach not only oversimplifies individuals, but also muddles the distinctions between the categories themselves. Nakane CAPS introduces a fundamentally different paradigm. The discovery of sensory equations was the key to unlocking the architecture of human behavior. These equations are created by combining four sensory blocks, which pair together like DNA strands to form 7 overarching motivations, or motivants: wealth, respect, revolution, victory, balance, approval, and artistic. Like other patterns in nature, each of these motivants operates within cyclical structures that interact with their environment and with one another, ultimately helping to shape every person. The system is highly predictive but not deterministic. It minimizes bias, and its causal relationships are reproducible. And unlike traditional personality models, this system, rooted in sensory-based cycles, is directly observable. Eye movements, head leans, facial expressions, body indicators, and even word choice reveal a person's inherent composition, including their Nakane CAPS profile and their moment-to-moment behavioral shifts. It is a scientifically tenable, empirical classification of personality. Yet what unfolded several years after the initial 2008 breakthrough was even more remarkable. During their research, the team encountered 2 key concepts: the framework interpretation of creation and Thomistic metaphysics. From these sources, a possible bridge emerged across the long-perceived divide between faith and science. First, they noticed that the 7 motivant sensory equations aligned strikingly with the 7 days of creation in Genesis. Then, they identified a correspondence between the sensory blocks and the powers of the soul, specifically the intellective and appetitive powers, which describe our innate capacities to think and to act toward chosen ends. In addition, 2 motivants appeared to parallel the speculative and practical intellects. But the most compelling connection emerged in Aquinas' explanation of the Trinity, known as the psychological analogy. Here, the Son and the Holy Spirit are understood through the 2 processions of the soul, the intellect and the will, revealing how human beings are uniquely made in the image of God, possessing the same fundamental powers reflected in his inner life. This insight ties directly to Pope John Paul II's theology of the body, showing that our very embodiment is designed to express Trinitarian love through a sincere gift of self. The combined force of Genesis and Aquinas opened the door to a series of further mappings between Nakane CAPS and Christianity, including the Ten Commandments, the Beatitudes, the parables of the Gospels, the seven virtues and vices, the seven signs of John, and the seven churches of Revelation. The result is a unique convergence of scientific relevance and spiritual insight. This knowledge offers a practical roadmap for personal growth and holiness, translated into a simple, accessible, yet groundbreaking tool for everyday life.